guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Monica and I like to film videos all about dirt bikes. Let's preface the video by saying if you're going to invest in a cheap pair of goggles, the goggles are probably going to be of cheaper quality. They might be good for a season, but they probably are not going to last you as long. The goggles that I have here, there's a plethora of brands that we're going to go over, but I kind of wanted to point out some of the main differences and some of the items that I really like about some of these goggles. So let's jump into the video. Let's start off with one of our favorite brands, which is Klim. Klim just dropped a brand new pair of goggles. This is called the Edge off-road goggle. And I know I'm gonna like this goggle already because I see that it has a really nice size lens. So we're gonna be able to see out of our peripheral vision here. And then it also came, one moment, with this nose piece. And what's really cool about this nose piece is when I was taking it off, I'm not really into the whole nose piece wearing thing, but on the bottom of these goggles, you clip the nose piece in, but it also holds on by a magnet, which I think is really cool. You have some ventilation holes right here, and you have a really nice thick foam here. What is it? Three layers. So it's gonna keep that sweat out of your face. And I can already tell that the lens is gonna be pretty easy to swap out as well, which is another pet peeve of mine when it comes to goggles. I hate messing with goggles, so the easier it is to swap out a dirty lens, the better it is. Fine. They do it again and again. Guys, this goggle is it's magnetic. How freaking dope is that? All right, I just popped that off and now I'm popping it back on, and that maybe took me a minute, not even. Klim does it again. Like, why am I even surprised? Wow. So really a big fan of this goggle. I can't wait to wear it this weekend in South Carolina for the Enduro. Klim, just, you know, they are quality. When it comes to their products, they are very expensive, but there's a reason for that. Like I said at the beginning of the video, what you pay for is what you get. Next goggle we have here is the Fox View goggle. These goggles are designed in collaboration with Ken Roxon. Fun fact if you didn't know. So what's cool about this goggle is the fact that you can swap out the lens by taking this off right here, and it kind of just flips to the side, and then you can quickly take the goggle out, clean it. And I really love the fact that a lot of goggle companies have started to do this. Obviously, these are a little bit higher end goggles, so they're not going to be in your $50 to $70 price range, but I think it's worth the money to get a nice pair of goggles that's going to last you. A good pair of goggles can last you a couple years as long as you're swapping out the lenses, which is nice. Again, you have the triple or quadruple foam here. You have ventilation here, but unlike the Klim goggles that have the vents over the top of the lens, these do not have that, but still a nice, sleek looking goggle. And the specific name of swapping out the lens, this is like a lock system. I guess that's what they call it. So you just pull it, push it up, and it kind of unlocks, which is kind of cool, right? Oops. Going back to Klim, we have one of the Klim goggles from last year. So let's compare the new versus the old pair. So I would say that this probably has a wider field of view. Maybe it's the same. I don't really know. But these kind of dip down. These are a little bit more straight across and sleek. This pair also doesn't have the vents on the front of the lens. And then it looks like the foam on the new pair is a little bit thicker as well. The replacement lens system on this one is pretty standard. You know, you just pull up the goggle and then you have these little plastic pieces inside of the goggle that you just slide the lens into. Also pretty easy to swap out a lens, but it's just a little bit more work. So I would say that I definitely prefer, you know, the lock-in system or the lockout system over a system like this where I actually have to take time and like put the lens into the little plastic piece. Moving on to 100% goggles, which I totally thought I had sitting in the shop, but I used to rock those back in the day, and apparently now I can't find them in my gear bag or in the trailer. That's okay. Everybody knows what 100% goggles look like. They have different models. And what's really cool about 100% goggles is the fact that the lenses are interchangeable between each and every model, and 100% drops a lot of really cool colors and combos. So I feel like everyone and their mom can choose a really cool style to suit their needs. Moving on to one of the OG goggles, which I think everyone knows about, it is the Oakley Airbrake goggle. So what's really cool about the Oakley Airbrakes is that every piece of this goggle is interchangeable. So let's say this piece breaks, you can order it, and if you don't like the color, you can order that as well. It is one of the first goggles that actually started the, you know, wider lens trend, and it was also one of the first goggles that started with the, you know, easy interchangeable system. I think it's called like the lock system or something like that, but basically you're not messing around with, you know, the annoying plastic pins that you have to shove your lens into. So that's really cool about these goggles. Oakley Airbrakes also have a really cool roll-off system. I think with 100% goggles, you have, you know, the old school tear-offs, but with this system, you can actually buy one of the roll-off things. I'm sure that for 100% goggles, you can do that too. But they do have a system for roll-offs, and I think that's pretty neat. Moving on to a brand or company that is new to me. This is the Havoc goggle. And why I decided to buy this goggle is solely because of the leopard print. I just really wanted a pair of goggles with leopard print on the band, and I finally found one. What's really neat about this goggle compared to the ones that I showed you previously is the fact that these are the only goggle that I own and that I kind of know of that has a magnetic lens. Okay, so this is a pretty self-explanatory system right here. You know, the lenses themselves have magnets on them. The goggle has magnets on them, and they just snap together. And to take it off, you know, I mean, it does. I'm pretty sure that this is the easiest interchangeable lens that exists. Okay, let's talk a little bit more. Although the lens is quite large, I just feel like when I'm riding, I don't feel like I have a good field of vision compared to some of the other goggles that I mentioned before. For example, my climb goggles seem to have a better, you know, vision on the side. I don't know if it's maybe because the foam in here is blocking the vision. I don't really know. Maybe I'm just being super picky. But again, they have this really nice plastic vented system. They have the nice thick foam, so it's gonna keep sweat out of your eyes. And I really like that they have these really fun, quirky designs that's probably gonna suit everyone. Also love the lens color combo, and I really love the fact that you can just, you know, pop this in and out. I haven't ridden in the woods with them yet, so I'm curious, like, if you wipe out, would the lens pop off on its own? I doubt it, but that's definitely something I want to test out as well. Another goggle that people seem to love is the Scott Prospect goggle. Now, that's not a goggle that I wear or that I own, but I know plenty of people that love that goggle. It also has a very nice field of view, and it is one of the goggles that has a smaller frame, also really nice thick foam to keep the sweat out of your eyes, And that's on my list of goggles to try, I guess. And last but not least, we're gonna talk about electric goggles. And of course, I literally ordered them because of this strap, because call me crazy, for some reason, when I see something, I really want it and then I gotta have it and then I end up buying it. So this is not a motocross goggle. This is actually a snow goggle, a snowboard goggle or a ski goggle, whatever you want to call it. So unlike the goggles that I was showing you guys, this goggle is very thin. Let me go ahead and show you guys the main difference between these two goggles. So this is the snow goggle. This is the Klim Motocross Moto Enduro goggle, whatever you want to call it. So the Klim goggle has really good ventilation. You guys can see right through the foam there. While this goggle has good ventilation too. I mean, I can feel the vents, but it's got a little thicker foam, so it's not gonna be as breathable as this goggle, for example. Also, when we move on to the foam, you only have this one thicker insulated foam layer. Meanwhile, the Klim has this like two foam, nice thick layer to keep the sweat out of your eyes. Also, the snow goggle doesn't have one of the nice snappy interchangeable lens systems. Of course, this one does, like I showed you guys before. And the field of vision, and what I'm talking about is the width of the lens itself. This one goes nice to the side. Meanwhile, this one kind of stops here. And maybe if I put them on top of each other, you'll be able to tell the difference a little bit more. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks for sticking around and watching this week's video. I'm pretty curious, what are some of your favorite goggles? I think if I had to choose out of all the goggles that I showed you guys today, I did definitely pick the Klim goggle, the brand new one, and I'd probably also choose the OG Oakley Airbrake. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.